Hey everyone, Cam here, and today we're taking a look at some of the most useful but often overlooked tools in the Garmin GPS series. These are the flight planning utilities. These tools are available in the GPS 175, GNC 355, and GNX 375. Today I'll be using a GNX 375 for demonstration purposes, but it should work the exact same for all units. Now the goal here isn't to teach weather theory or performance planning from scratch. I'm assuming you already understand the basics. Instead, I want to show you how to quickly and efficiently use these tools in flight. I'll use a simple route from Bolivar to Jeff City for all examples, so you can follow along if you'd like. Let's jump in. All of these tools live in the exact same place. From the home screen, tap Utilities. This is where Garmin groups together the calculators that support flight planning and decision making, and you'll notice that many of these utilities share the same data, which makes them easy to use in the heat of the moment. Let's start with the one that I use the most. The vertical calculator, commonly referred to as VCalc, helps you answer one of the most common in-flight questions. When do I need to begin my descent? To set this up, tap on VCalc. For our example flight from Mach 17 to KJEF, I'll enter the target altitude. In this case, 1,000 feet above the waypoint is fine, and that'll get us close enough to pattern altitude. Next, I'll select a descent rate. This could be something comfortable like 500 feet per minute, or you could bump that up depending on your aircraft and the current conditions. Next, let's specify our offset. I find that the default 3 nautical mile range works well. This is essentially how far before the waypoint you want to reach your pattern altitude. Lastly, if it's not already selected, let's activate KJEF as our target waypoint. You'll see the status bar pop up on the bottom with our time to descent and what vertical speed would be required if we wanted to begin our descent right now. The nice part is that this is not a static measurement. It's based on your actual flight path, so as ground speed changes, the calculator updates automatically, giving you a dynamic top of descent cue. This is useful in both IFR and VFR conditions. In IFR, it helps you meet altitude restrictions smoothly without rushing a descent, and for VFR, it's a great energy management tool, especially when descending into busy or constrained airspace. Just remember, this is a planning aid. You are still responsible for complying with ATC instructions and maintaining terrain clearance. Next up is the fuel planning utility. From the Utilities page, tap Fuel Planner. This tool helps you quickly answer questions like how much fuel you burn and how much you'll have left at your destination. Fuel planning can be done either for point-to-point or flight plan navigation. For point-to-point, enter your starting and ending location and press the P position button to import your current location. When you change this mode to flight plan, you can choose to run the calculation for the active flight plan or choose any from the catalog. Then just select your desired leg or the cumulative route if you want to load it for the entire thing. Using the same Mach 17 to KJEF route, I'll enter my fuel on board and fuel flow. Depending on how your aircraft is equipped, some of this data may already be populated automatically. Type in your planned ground speed, or if you're flying, just press Use Sensor Data to import your current speed. Lastly, enter your fuel on board and fuel flow, and press Compute to run the calculation. The GPS now shows fuel required, fuel remaining at destination, endurance, and range. The versatility of this tool is great if winds change or if you're rerouted, and it gives you quick situational awareness without reaching for another device. Now, let's move on to the density altitude, true airspeed, and winds aloft utility. This one packs a lot of information into a small space. Tap on the utility and let's get ready to enter some information. Here, we need to enter indicated altitude, the current altimeter setting, our calibrated airspeed, outside air temp, and current heading. Pressing Use Sensor Data will once more import our track and ground speed. Pressing Compute will reveal your density altitude, true airspeed, wind direction, wind speed, and relative headwind or tailwind component. Now this feature is especially useful if you need to give a PIREP, if you want to verify forecast winds, or if you just want a better understanding of how your airplane is performing. Since we have a little bit of extra time, let's briefly touch on one or two more utilities that are simple but often overlooked. The timer will keep track of how long since and what time you powered on and took off, which is a nice backup if you forget to take a picture of your hobs right before the flight. It can also function like a standard timer, counting up or down, which is helpful for holds and instrument flying. Now, scheduled messages are another useful feature that can be triggered by different criteria, which I often use as a 30-minute reminder to switch fuel tanks. Okay, and that's a quick mastery tour of the flight planning utilities on the Garmin GPS series. We've covered the VCalc, fuel planning, and density altitude utilities, which are all designed to help you plan ahead and make better in-flight decisions. If you want a deeper dive into these features, or you're looking for a complete walkthrough for your specific unit, be sure to check out my full-length GPS series tutorials. I'm Carr, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.